Hi, this is Diane Lovetobake on YouTube, and what we're going to make is a cake. But if you've watched my channel, you know I like to make large, big cakes. In fact, I think this is going to make either 28 or 29 half-sheet cakes on my channel. So if you don't like this one and you're looking for chocolate or yellow batter, golden batter, two-tone, marble, red velvet, I've got it all on my channel. I really do. I think this is either 27 or 28. I could be off a little bit, but anyway, this is a 12 by 18 pan, so I know I always get questions on that. And go ahead and heavily spray it. Just use an oil spray. If you prefer to use your parchment for this cake, you know, feel free. But I find with just spraying it, it's fast and it's easy. Now, what we're going to make, the type of cake, is actually a raisin oatmeal, and I know if you like oatmeal, you're going to like this cake. It's a raisin oatmeal cinnamon cake. It really is a delicious cake. It can be eaten alone, or you can, you know, put a frosting or a glaze on it if you prefer. And it's really easy to put together. So that's what I want to do, is start off with my dry ingredients. And hopefully I'm going to go slow enough and clearly enough so that you can jot down the recipe, because I'm sorry I no longer write the recipe below the video. But you will need 4 cups of all-purpose flour. And you know, you really do need a stand-up to make this cake, because you know there's so much batter to it. There really is. I'm not saying it can't be done with a hand mixer, but very easily, for the proportionate of the product that we're going to be putting in and blending and beating together, you know, your stand-up is really the answer. So that was 4 cups of all-purpose flour. The next thing we're going to use are 4 again cups of oats. And I prefer not the quick oats, if you know what I mean by that. The one that, you know, you cook yourself, you know. So, and if somebody writes to me and says, well, you know, do you use the quick? No, I really don't. I just use the regular oats, okay? And that's 4 cups. And then I just go ahead and put that all into that flour. And then I just give it a little stir. Now, throughout the video, I am going to warn you, and I'm sorry if it seems annoying, but I'm going to give you a heads up when I turn the mixer on a higher speed, because it can be kind of loud on your end. So I will give you a heads up. The next thing that you're going to be putting in is cinnamon, and you're going to put 4 teaspoons of cinnamon in. A lot of 4s in this recipe, but for me, easy, you know, easy to remember. Okay. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to put 2 teaspoons of ginger. Now, if you don't like ginger, go ahead and just make it with cinnamon. Just add it to the original cinnamon that we put in. So, but the ginger does add a little bit of a different taste to it, and I think you'd like it. I think you'd like using the 2 teaspoons of ginger. But if you don't, again, use cinnamon again. That's all. You know, there's to it. And it'll come out delicious, okay? The next thing that you're going to put in dry ingredients is 4 teaspoons of baking soda. Again, we're hearing that 4 again. So hopefully it's easy to remember. And we're also going to put 2 teaspoons of salt. Just regular salt. And then again, I'm just going to give it a stir. Okay. Now, what you're going to do next is you're going to put in 4 cups of unsweetened applesauce. I like the unsweetened because that it, you know, it doesn't have the sugar in it. You can use sweetened if you prefer. Your cake will be just a little bit sweeter, But the unsweetened to me is such a nice balance. And if somebody's looking for a recipe that doesn't have refined sugar in it, this is the recipe. It really is. And again, this was four cups of unsweetened applesauce. And it can be whatever brand that you prefer or your store carries. And believe me, you know, when I tell you the unsweetened, it's really excellent. This cake will have a great sweetness to it. But it won't be where, again, you have to worry about if you don't like refined sugar. You know, that's really, I think, what makes this recipe a good one. And I'm just gonna just give it a whirl here. Okay. Now, the next thing that we're going to be putting in are eggs. You're going to need 8 eggs, and I've had them at room temperature. I'm going to try to beat one in at a time, and again, I'm going to be raising my speed a bit. Now, on the speed, stay about medium speed. I don't like to beat mine too long because I think it makes the cake dense or heavy, so I try not to beat too long or too high. And I'm going to try to just fold in one at a time. Okay, I'm going to warn you because I'm going to raise the speed now, and I'm going to be a little bit at a higher speed, but I want to move it along to the video so I don't have to keep you too long watching. Just do it till it's all mixed in. The next thing that you're going to need is oil. So put in 2 cups of oil. You can use whatever brand that you prefer, because I know it's quite the debate. I don't want to get into that, you know, which oil is better. That you decide what type of oil. I'm actually using a vegetable oil, but you use whatever kind of oil that you want. And again, that was 2 cups. Now I'm going to raise the speed just to work that in a little bit. Now, spend whatever time it needs, and it could go anywhere from 3 to even 4 minutes, 3 on the shy side, 4 to mix it at medium, just so that it's well blended. The last thing that I like to put in is the vanilla, and it's 4 teaspoons of vanilla. And again, I'm just going to kind of stir that in, put my kitchen towel over it, so in case, you know, you don't want anything to go all over your walls in case. All right, now here's another thing. If you want to put in nuts, it's optional. Put 2 cups of chopped nuts, whatever you like. If you like walnuts, if you like cashews or pecans or almonds, you know, feel free. I don't put the nuts in. I prefer this cake without the nuts, but again, it is optional. Go ahead and use 2 cups of chopped nuts. All right, the last thing that we're going to fold in is our raisins, and I'm using dark raisins. You can use the light raisins if you want. I like the dark, so that's why I'm using them. And you're going to use 4 cups of raisins. Now you might think, oh my gosh, this recipe is using a lot of products. Yes, it is, but it makes one large cake, and it is a delicious cake. So I'm just, you know, I'm putting in a little at a time here. And there goes the rest of those 4 cups of raisins. And now, just to make sure that everything's combined, I'm going to raise my speed. Normally I'd be at a medium, but I'm going to raise it, so warn you about the sound. due to the video. I don't want to have to keep you folks too long. I'm just making sure to get to the bottom. You know, everything kind of sticks at the bottom of the paddle there. And I think I'm going to just put it on for just a couple more seconds. Warn you about the sound. Okay. And whoops, take out my paddle and the excess. I don't like to waste products because, as we know, you know, the ingredients are so expensive these days. Why do you want to waste money, you know? So I try to get that all off of there. Okay. And now again, just go through. I always try to make sure to check the sides, clean up the sides of the bowl, make sure the bottom, I caught all of that and have it combined. Just have a, you know, a large spoon or spatula to make sure everything's combined. And that's exactly what I'm doing right now, because normally I would have beaten it just a little bit longer. Okay, so I've got the pan sprayed. We talked about that early on. And now we're just putting in all that batter. This cake smells so good when it's baking. Your kitchen, oh my gosh, it just, the aroma is so good. And then just even it out as best as you can. Again, I want to get everything out of this mixing bowl. Okay, it is a wet batter because I do get questions about that. Okay, and I'm going to grab a knife here and just to take the excess off. Okay, and then I'm just going to smooth it out. You can tap the pan if you want. I really don't have much problems with air bubbles with this cake, but if you want to go ahead and tap it, feel free. All right, I'm going to set that aside. Now, you're going to bake this cake at 375, and it could take you anywhere from, oh my gosh, from 28 minutes to even up to 35. And the reason there's such a variance in time, because you know, all our ovens set up so differently. And I know mine is a new oven, and it really seems like it's baking, you know, a lot faster than my old one. So I'm getting adjusted to my own. So, you know, check it with a toothpick or a cake tester and that kind of thing. Make sure too, in this particular cake, that the center is well baked. I mean, you don't want to over bake it and it becomes dry and you won't like it. But this particular area, I noticed in the larger size, in this half sheet, this is an area that needs a bit more baking. So make sure you check that center area really well on this particular cake, okay? And again, put it in that preheated oven at 375. And I start checking mine, believe it or not, I start checking it at about 20 minutes. I really do. I just kind of peer the oven open just a little bit and try not to jostle anything, and check on it, because I just don't want this cake to be over baked and dry, because you're just not going to enjoy it. Now I'm going to wash my hands quickly because I was working with raw eggs. And I'd like to be able to show you the finished product, just to dry my hands here. I'm going to step away from the camera for a second. And here it is. I put it actually on a cardboard for a half a sheet. And I don't know if you can see, but the beautiful coloring on this cake. It'll be a golden brown. And again, if you want nuts and you like nuts, please add it to this cake. Like I said, I leave them out, but oh, it is delicious with nuts, okay? And I'm going to cut into it so that you can see the crumb on it, okay? And we'll take a little piece off here on the side. It has, and I hope I've got the right camera angle, it has a very moist, it's not dry, as long as you don't overbake it, it's not dry. In fact, I'll show you the crumb on it. When you take the fork, you can start to see how easily the crumb comes away. It's I would say medium texture. I wouldn't say light texture, and I sure wouldn't say heavy, but I don't know if you could see as I'm squeezing it how moist it is. And the moisture is coming, yes, from oil, but it's coming from that applesauce too. And it is such a delicious cake. Now you can use this, has a nice golden brown bottom. It will have a medium hard top to it. You can sprinkle powdered sugar over it. You could make a powdered sugar glaze. You could frost it, certainly with your favorite frosting, or just eat it alone. It is delicious. It also is really tasty. You know, once it cools on your cooling rack, and it's not hot, but it's warm. Oh, is it great with a cup of coffee. Or you could just put this in your microwave, you know, for 10 seconds and heat it, and it's delicious warm. It really is. In fact, I have a family member that likes it with ice cream. So I warm the cake in the microwave, and then with a scoop, well, he likes vanilla ice cream with it, and oh, it is just delicious. So I hope you give this recipe a try, especially if you're looking for a large cake, you know, for a graduation or a church social or a birthday cake. Even a birthday cake, this is a great cake, especially if they love oatmeal and they like raisins. It's really a terrific cake, and it's very relatively easy to make, as you can see. So that's it for me today. I want to thank you, by the way, for watching Diane Lovetobake on YouTube, and a reminder that I only put my videos on. Also, I have left a post on my channel that if you get a chance you might want to read. I'm trying to do my due diligence. I have to work up my views as the amount of time that people watch the video. So if you'll watch the video a little bit longer than you normally do, boy, I'd really appreciate it. And I want to thank all of you that have watched me and watched my videos through all the years that I've been on, and with over 3.5 million views and over 23,000 subscribers. I can't thank you enough for taking the time and checking out Diane Lovetobake on YouTube. Stay well, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.